Well, hello, hello. This is Cindy, your host over at Buckless Coach Web Show Live. A very special episode today. We want to educate all Facebook users about the Lily Collins hack. So, let me give my background story. I am a professional travel agent, and I also run a marketing company here in Huntington Beach, Surf City, USA. And I had a huge event with our local mayor and also the senator's office to promote a national day with my National Bucket List Day. 2 days before the event, I got hacked by the Lily Collins hack, and how it works. Either I click some kind of ad or maybe a Google Chrome. I do not do the GPT, so it wasn't through that. I still to this day don't know. I actually was just at a taqueria. I got a message from Facebook saying I had to fill out some kind of form. And next thing you know, I am removed. I am restricted. So that was on the 23rd. And then on the 30th, I get my account back just enough to put pictures and videos into albums into my actual Facebook business page. The 31st, I log in, I'm out again. And then I was back on the 3rd of April, had it for less than 24 hours, and then the 4th locked out again. It is now the 19th, and I still don't have my account. And I have a major cruise coming up to celebrate the National Bucket List Day, and also with the National Day calendar, I was supposed to be going live. So this page here, my temporary page, I have 200, and my original page, I had almost 5,000. So this is really devastating for my business and millions of business owners around the world. I have Ron and I have Valerie, but I'm going to pop Ron off really quick and then I will add him back on. Okay, Val, tell your story. Oh, look at, we're frozen here.
Okay, I'm just going to not look at my notes. So back in October of 2021, I don't think it was the same hack. It's just hackers finding new approaches constantly. Mine was one of the more original hacks. They went in, hacked my account, changed my, actually, they must have not changed my email. I'm not sure how they did it. All I know is they went in, posted something horrendous. I'm so sorry. Posted something horrendous and about child sexualization, inappropriate child post, basically child porn. And they sent me a thing saying I had 30 days to get back to ask for a review. I went in, followed the link. It brought me to nowhere. It was a dead end. I finally sent out about 10 days later, maybe 2 weeks later, sent out a certified return receipt requested message, snail mail letter to the Menlo Park corporate offices. And no reply to that. I had people that were that I'm so sorry, I'm being so distracted by other work things. So that I had people, I had no response to anything. I had my co-workers, my family, the consultant that ran my Instagram. I had everybody sending messages to them, no response at all. Went in, filed a lawsuit against them a few months later, sent a demand letter, all that. Went in, filed the lawsuit, forgot my readers. And when I was writing down the credit card number, they ended up setting that one aside. So I had to go in and refile it. We didn't get into court until August. They were a no-show. I won the case. I won a judgment of about $7,200. Of course, right in the nick of time, they come in and ask for a hearing to set aside the judgment, which they ultimately did I think it was January 6th, we had that hearing. And so the judge set aside that judgment, set a new trial for us, and this story gets even worse. So in the meantime, they had taken down my WhatsApp, my Instagram, everything's been off for over a year.
Wow.
All my business stuff. So they get me in touch with, I've been talking to attorneys with Oric since like April. But anyway, this new attorney with or contacts me and starts working with me, and he gets my Facebook personal page turned back on, which I could care less about that. And then a few days later, we're working on getting to Instagram, which is really my primary focus. I use WhatsApp for international clients to book in advance and that sort of thing. But honestly, my Instagram is the only thing that really made me any money. And with that, I spent money and time on. And so I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm so sorry. So they on January 6th, so he's helping me to try and get the Instagram back on. And in the meantime, he said, can you send me a link from maybe your private Instagram or something showing me to your username, Seabreeze Massage, at Seabreeze Massage. So I did that. And then for some reason, and it was funny because I had a phone call a couple of days before from a guy asking for a massage for his wife for her birthday, not an uncommon request, but he was super creepy, gave that creepy vibe. And then when I quizzed him about it, because I'm very direct. I quizzed him about, what his expectations were and told him we only, do therapeutic massage. His response was, aren't you on social media? And I was like, well, actually, everything's been taken down. I'm in court with them right now. Turns out he's a pervert offering, and I follow the link that I sent to the attorney a few days earlier. And sure enough, it's this pervert trying to find private, personal, 100% satisfaction, guaranteed massages for
Happy
ladies
ending,
only.
yeah.
So now they've turned they've turned me off for sexual content, inappropriate content, and they gave my username away, which in the massage industry, this is a very scary thing. This is a headache that we deal with, and and for them to actually set me up to deal with this more. But anyway, we reported it twice, me and my daughter. They let it go back up. Finally, they took it down when I told Dan, the attorney, you need to get this thing down because they're damaging me at this point. And so anyways, Dan did get it taken down within a day or two. I suspect it was him because they took it down momentarily and then put it right back up when we reported. But once I told him about it within 24 hours, it was down permanently. Now, Dan is acting in the role of technical support liaison. Here's a good use of your money, Facebook. Don't keep your paying advertisers happy. Oh, by the way, they also have been hacking my card. They were hacking my 2 payment cards on file. And so Facebook is actually profiting from these hackers that go in, because what they do is they hack the advertising payment cards on file, and then they sell their fraudulent products to all the users online on your nickel. Facebook's making money on it. They're selling their fraud, and Facebook's got victimizing both their paid advertisers as well as their users who are buying stuff off their platform. So there's not a lot of financial motivation for them to fix this situation. So anyways, that happened to me. And so now the most recent thing is I thought I was that close to getting my Instagram back up in the last month. They've not only ignored me now, but they ignore Dan. Dan, the attorney, called me the other day after I texted him, after I emailed him, and I said, hey, look, has something changed with your relationship? I used to actually get at least some response when you would tell them to work with me. Then something would happen. All of a sudden, I'm just getting these form letters saying they're only looking at the most urgent cases. I don't know if it's because of the layoffs or what, but all I know is he said they're not responding to him either. So they're not only if you're a shareholder, sell your stock now. That's all I can say. But anyways, it's so I'm not sure what's going on now. I don't know if it's because of the layoffs or whatever. But the fact of the matter is I'm back to getting form emails from them. And basically still don't have my Instagram. We have a court case on May 19th. Anybody that can provide me with some kind of a statement, talking about your situation for that, because I need to get these exhibits in for that case in the next 2 weeks at the very latest. So if anybody can give me their statement, a brief statement, because they don't like to a lot of reading stuff, just a very brief, quick statement of what went down with you would be very helpful for my May 19th hearing. So anyways, that's where I'm at. And I apologize. I was so discombobulated. The notes I took are also on the phone that I'm using for the video. So I didn't plan that out very well.
So how long did it take for Dan to reach back out to you? Because I did send a letter
Mm-hmm.
and I have not heard as of yet, because I really need my page by Thursday. And I don't understand like why they would give you your account back and then take it and then give it 3 times. And still it's almost 2 weeks now.
I think it's just their bad technology. They're not only bad with money, but I really don't think they're very strong with technology either. So yeah, I'm not sure why their stock has gone back up. It's baffling. It makes me wonder about our market. Let's put it that way. So anyways, yeah, so I think it's just really bad technology, not enough bodies in there, not enough. He's just not putting the resources into the people that he needs to run the business in an appropriate manner. And at this point, there's gross negligence as far as I'm concerned. And that $100, I've done some research on this one. Ron prompted me to do that.
On the TOS, yeah.
Yeah, that actually with gross negligence voids that. And I can show gross negligence. I've now got so many emails between me and the attorney and their complete lack of response and their complete lack of respect for the court's time, for my time, for their paid advertisers. We are the people they target. That's what they want, is advertising dollars. And for them to treat businesses like this, and that now that I'm experiencing this, I am finding every friend has a nightmare story of another friend that it happened to. Everybody knows somebody with a small business. I'm just grateful that I didn't have all my eggs in Facebook's basket. So I'm still surviving. I've been hit for sure financially.
Yeah,
but
everything
at least,
was
yeah,
everything.
at least they didn't take me completely out of the game, which is what they have no problem at all doing to people. They have no problem just crushing small businesses and crushing, working class people. It's pretty disgusting. So
yeah, like for me, for my national events, a proclamation, they're not going to happen again. I mean, the mayor came one, the senator came one. I mean, I am going to be working on possibly something with the Senate floor to do something else next year. But for this year's event, and I mean, I have one video that's been shared. Let's see, it has 18,000 views and it's been shared, I think like 600 times, close to 600 times. I can't redo that, but I've been the lucky one because the email and the phone number was not changed. So that's good. And most of all my content, there's some content that's gone, but most all my content is there. And I had almost 5,000 connections. So that's just devastating for me. And let's get Ron on, and then you can pop off to your meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I will get everybody your information. So we could go ahead and do a letter. Yeah, because I'm going to be on a cruise until the 29th, but I could write a letter after that time.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, Val.
I'm not sure.
Bye, Val.
Hi, Cindy.
Okay, so yours isn't Lily Collins, but it is a breach, correct?
Well, as far as I know, I wasn't hacked. My account was disabled. And,
can you turn your volume up a little bit?
I'm gonna have to get closer.
Okay.
How do I sound now?
A little bit better.
All right. I lost my Facebook account in October of last year, and I lost my Instagram account in January of this year. As far as I know, it wasn't a breach, but what I share in common with all the people who have been hacked, sure, is that I'm at the mercy of this automated moderation by Facebook. They have bots or AI that moderate, and they don't react. They react like an insect would react with stimuli. So I have people who mass reported me as a pedophile, reported harmless pictures as being nude children, even though they weren't. And
Yes.
they do this in mass through these gangs, these sock puppets that report in mass. And I suspect the hackers do something similar. They certainly put pictures that are objectionable, but then they're somehow reported too immediately, and then Facebook takes down that account. And Facebook can't invest in real moderators. Most of their moderators, especially overseas, are outsourced companies. There's
Yes.
cases where whole countries just have maybe a few moderators that are live, so most of it's automatic. So in my case, these people in town are mad at me because I got their letters taken off the local paper here in Fargo, North Dakota, the Fargo Forum. They were writing letters to the paper under fake names. I exposed it, and it really got them mad. I think it's maybe one or two people doing it. But they're connected with what is called troll gangs, these gangs of sock puppets and phony accounts that mass report people on Facebook and Instagram. And that's, and if you go to another account, they'll search you up and they'll mass report that. And there's just so many problems Facebook has in terms of moderation. And then when you complain about them, if you don't have a troll gang of your own to mass report these other trolls, if you report the same person again and again, they shadow ban that person to you, so you can't see their objectionable posts. Facebook basically hides them from you, and they get to go out and slander you and defame you, and you wouldn't know it unless you looked in from another account, or you looked in from you can go without an account and look in on some accounts on Facebook, but it's not easy. Usually they're in Hindi. They're from a different country. You can do it. You can't do it in English.
Or Ghana. Yeah. So can you tell my audience, I believe we talked about that yesterday, is when we get our page back, there's a way that we could actually go to our account and see the hidden photos.
I know what I discovered in looking at the trolls that attacked me. You can look at their feed and see only so many things, but when you go to their photos, you see their photos, but they won't be on their feed. Their photos will be in a separate file. So I suspect it's the same with our own account. You won't see it on your feed, but when you click on your photos, you'll see a whole display of photos and videos that won't necessarily be on your feed. People have to be your friend and then click on the photo icon at the top of your page. I think that's maybe what you're talking about.
Oh, the three dots. You hit the three dots and then look for hidden.
And on my iOS, on an iPad or cell phone, it's just right below the profile pictures and all that. It just says photos right before you get to the main feed. Okay. But in my case, there's this defamation. The terms of service not only doesn't apply to you if there's gross negligence, but the terms of service doesn't apply if you don't have an account. How are you subject to the terms of service if you don't have an account? And then accounts defame, slander, and libel you constantly. I have this going back over a year, and they do it continually all the time because I'm sort of known in my community among some circles. So, and these are troublemakers that have attacked local candidates and disabled.
Wow, that's sad.
And they also do a thing called memorialization. They can gang report somebody as being deceased, and they disable account by memorialization. They did that to my mom, who's unable to fix it because she's in a care home right now. She just can't do it. We don't want to stress her out. You don't want to stress out a 94-year-old woman about something like this.
Yes.
So it's crazy. So I'm looking into suing them. I too, like Valerie, had been contacted by an ORIC attorney, one in West Virginia, which covers this part of the country. And they're basically handlers. ORIC attorneys, like with Valerie, in my case, he hasn't been able to fix everything, but he basically says, well, 2 times now, he said, well, I'll get back to you. This takes quite some time, and this has been months now. And I think they're just as clueless as we are. I think they're being told by main Facebook that hey, we'll get on it. And so, and then just today, I got the details of 2 cases that went to court and had there were victories in San Mateo County Small Claims Court. And like Valerie, they didn't show up at one of the hearings.
Wow.
And one of them, they said we didn't get the notice in time and tried to get it vacated, and they failed to get it set
So
aside.
in their own backyard, they didn't show up to court.
They didn't show up. And then the second one, they just didn't show up, and just by default, they lost the case. They're had to pay $1,200. The $10,000 case, their request for vacation was denied, and they were told they could apply again within 30 days to prove that they didn't get the notice, and that's up in a few days. The internet says it, or the San Mateo County docket says the case is closed, but you know, they have a law firm called CSC in Sacramento that takes all their legal notices.
Okay, so that's probably where my next letter needs to go to.
Yeah, and the first case, the $10,000 case, the notice went to that law firm, and this was in 2021. This case was filed, and they claim they didn't get it. That Maine Legal and Facebook didn't get the notice from CSC in Sacramento, the law firm there. And this is ridiculous for a multi-billion-dollar company to just be so helpless like that. Mm-hmm. So the judge apparently wasn't buying it, and we've yet to see if they tried to file again, but because the 30 days are up in a few days that they're allowed to file and prove that they didn't get the notice, or there was a good excuse for them to not get the notice. But so Valerie's getting the same treatment. They didn't show up, and now she has to go back in a hearing again. And hopefully the information from these other cases of Facebook not showing up can be shown. I mean, this just shows bad faith by Facebook, and judges don't like it when you don't show up and you expect to have a do-over.
Wow. So what advice would you like to give my audience for someone like myself who's been affected by the Lily Collins hack?
Well, if you live in the U.S., you can sue in small claims court. You can do it. And I've been getting a lot of interesting information from People Clerk, which is a service that helps you formulate demand letters. You don't have to use them as a service, but they can help format a demand letter for you, and you can send it on your own, or they'll send it for you. But basically, people need to get demand letters out there, but you need to do it with a credible ability to sue. And now that I'm reading case histories, and I'm going to look into some more, I'm about ready to sue. Now, People Clerk has an option for $150 for a lawyer review of your case. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spring for that. I'm going to have the lawyer go over it and make sure it's as good a case as I can get. Obviously, these other folks did it on their own and were successful. And Valerie's case is looking good. I hope to make her hearing and help her if I can.
Are you going to do the hearing on Zoom? Or are you going to San Diego?
Well, she says I could call in. She says the San Diego County Court, it's a call in.
Oh, okay.
By phone.
Yeah,
it could
that'll work for me too. I'm 2 hours from San Diego, but I could call in.
Yeah. So if you live in the U.S., I suggest people at least look into what People Clerk offers. You don't have to do it, but it's best to file probably in San Mateo County. San Mateo County will let you appear by Zoom. It's a $50 fee to apply to the judge to appear by Zoom.
Okay.
That's the only catch with that.
So how would somebody do that? They just go to the city of San Mateo, the court system there.
Yeah,
and
the court there.
Fill out their information.
I believe, and there's a link on the Lily Collins hack page on Facebook and on the subreddit u/Facebook disabled me. Those are the 2 best places for information. And I have a link posted on both places, and I can do it again for the folks who are just finding out about it. But on Facebook the People Clerk website, How to Sue Facebook, gives you information and links to the San Mateo County Court where you can apply for their case. You can apply for the to appear by Zoom and all that.
Is this right here where it says People Clerk? That right there?
Let me see. I'm going to small.
See the
yes,
top.
That's it. That's not how that's not the one for how to sue Facebook, but that'll eventually get you to the information. Yeah, that'll get you the information. The how to sue Facebook link. I don't know if I put it on your comments, if you can put it up or not. Be able to do that.
I'm seeing, I thought that it was posted in here.
I'm going to go on a screen. Can you read the chat? I can.
Yes. Yeah. If you send me the chat. Yeah. If you send me chat, I could repurpose that.
Oh, let's see now. Coming up.
So what we're looking at right now, this is the Facebook group. It's called Hacked and Changed Accounts 2, and then Lily Collins in parentheses. So if you've been a victim of this, please go to Facebook and request to be a member of that group. So, okay.
Oh, someone from the Netherlands. I talked to somebody from the Netherlands on Reddit, or I traded messages with her. It might be the same woman. But unfortunately, that can't help her. She might be able to go to the European Union has a regulatory body that some people say help.
So I'm going to try to, you bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to go straight to that link. Let's see here. Okay. So you want to go through some of this because you've already been talking to people over there.
Yeah, they have as you go down, you'll find links to San Mateo County, and also people can use them for formatting. And and the fees, I don't know if I can post a photo on chat either. There's a summary of their fees that I have let's see if I can.
And they could just go here. If you go to peopleclerk.com, and then in this, there should be a search section, but it's peopleclerk.com/post/how, and then -2-sue-Facebook. And if you physically type that in, it'll get you to this as well. Yeah. And then you just click, here's the pricing tab up here.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, so that's some of the nuggets of what's going on. I was somewhat have been lucky because I was hacked, but my email and my phone number remained the same. So that's how I was able to get it back 3 times. But now I'm at the point where it was from the 4th of April and is now the 19th of April. And I have been getting emails from the escalation team, but nothing has happened as of yet.
Well, I've heard cases like yours a lot where you get your account back, but then anything you do activates the automated moderation into thinking that the hackers are back, and then it disables you again. Like when you put out several Facebook Messenger PMs, I think if you use Facebook Messenger over a certain number of times, the auto moderation gets activated and tries to shut you down because it can't think like a human. It's all automated. It's like a cockroach running from the light when you turn it on in a room. It's just we're not dealing with a live human being here, and so it automatically shuts you down. They can't fix that. My theory is it's like fixing in order to fix one transformer in rural areas, you have to shut down the whole county just to fix one transformer because the way it works. I don't think Facebook could fix this without shutting it down for 2 billion people. That's the problem. So that's why there are no shows at small claims court and willing to pay out, because they can't, for many people, they really can't get your account back.
Yes, because my business was built from nothing to something, And like I mentioned before, yeah, one of my videos
So,
has been
and I'm
shared.
seeing a lot more people complain.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, and
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
you
of people.
went out for a minute. Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people are getting shut down because of mass reporting and all that. But again, as I said earlier, it's all based on this automated moderation and no live help desk. You can't, any other company I deal with, I call them up and they deal with it. PayPal, my bank, you name it, I can get a live human being to help me. Eventually, it's not always.
Well, only if you get married or die. That's the only way you could get a hold of Facebook. So, but we've run out of time, and we will have Mr. LaPlante. He did reach back out to me, so we'll have him back on another day. Probably gonna have to wait until after my cruise, but I'm crossing my fingers that I can get my account back by Friday at the latest because I planned on going live. But is there anything else that you want to put out on here on YouTube to let people know how crucial it is to change those passwords? I mean, for me, I really don't know how this happened. It could have been that I clicked an ad by mistake, or it's a Google Chrome extension. So that's the thing. And also the two-step, it also bypasses with this Lily Collins hack. It bypasses that. So although you have a two-step set up, it doesn't work. There's something that they're doing that bypasses all that.
Yeah, no other platform has this problem. It's only Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp.
So is WhatsApp connected to Facebook?
Yeah, it's owned by Meta, and you can link your Instagram and your WhatsApp with your Facebook and vice versa. Now, my Instagram wasn't linked with Facebook, but then I was a victim of the mass reporting. There was my account was closed, and there was a picture of my son and I in the front, and I'm pretty sure they reported that as being child porn.
Just wow,
father son, standing next to each other, but
wow,
there's no live human being to double check. And when you have 40 to 100 people reporting it as inappropriate, then yeah, you're down. And I have no Instagram.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. You could hang tight. I'm actually going to close out the broadcast. So if you want any information about the Lily Collins hack, please reach out to me here on my podcast. I could connect you to Ron and many others who've been affected by this, and also those who actually got their account back. We don't know how it happened. There's just, I guess, a select few who got their account back. So this is Cindy over at Buckless Coach Web Show Live, and we'll see you on the next podcast.